why Colombians don't hate gringos, or at least most of us. So I just did a video about if Medellin has too many tourists, and the video turned, or the comment section of the video turned into if Medellin is xenophobic or not. And most people referred to the beginning of the video where I showed a letter or a leaflet in Poblado where it said, we don't want mass tourism. So a video intended to show if Medellin is still local enough turned into a video about xenophobia. So if you're like me and you didn't know what xenophobia actually is, it's this lack of prejudice against people from other countries. So that's the definition of xenophobia. And I want to have another definition here. Everything I say after this point, if I talk about gringos, I'm talking about not just people from the US, but also people from, let's say, Europe, Australia, Canada. So yeah, I know it's technically not correct, but that's just how I'm going to do it in this video. So in general, you can say in Colombia is kind of a mix between two views about gringos. 95% of people have this very, very good view of the US, Europe, Australia in general, and think it's a very, very good place. Good people come from the place to here. They have all a lot of money. So it's kind of the Prince Charming thing. A lot of people think everything outside, let's say everything gringo is very, very nice. All the people are well educated and have a lot of money. And then you have the other view. We already talked about that dating in Medellin, which, yeah, the Prince Charming view. And then the other view is kind of, yeah, the party people, the people just searching for drugs and prostitutes here. And this I'm gonna talk about a little bit more now. So if you talk to people here in Colombia, or at least what I've experienced, is people will tell you we love foreigners. We love people coming from the outside here. They're interested in their stories. If you tell them that you're from the outside, they will ask you questions. Where you're from? Why are you here? Especially if you're living here. Why did you come? What do you like the most? Isn't it better in your home country? I've heard that in my example, Switzerland is so much better than whatnot, and different things like that. So people are very, very open. People are very, very interested, and this surely has to do because Colombia, let's say, yeah, since the 1990s was kind of encapsulated because they didn't get a lot of foreigners like today, for example, with Venezuela. So people still are very, very interested in learning from the outside, learning from foreigners, and are generally very, very happy to see foreigners in their country. And yeah, to give you kind of an idea, this will be around 95% of people I talked to gave me this answer. So here in Medellin, it's the nearer you go to Parquecheras. Parquecheras is kind of the party spot, the tourist hotspot in Medellin, where gringos are not perceived that good anymore. And this has to do because the Parquecheras area in Poblado is became kind of a place for a lot of foreigners to be here, to come here, be anonymous, and do a lot of stuff they wouldn't do back home. In the US, they are the average Joe and come here to Colombia where there's suddenly a rich person. That combined with the beautiful women you can see here lets a lot of us foreigners go wild here in the city of Medellin. Another aspect is that a lot of us foreigners, us gringos, bring a lot of social baggage from working very, very hard for the man, having a not so supportive family structure, at least nothing compared to Colombia, and just other social baggage we have from our home countries to here. That combined with just normal cultural differences like speaking louder and other stuff, doesn't not really paint a very, very good picture of what a gringo is. So what is the real issue here? The issue is not that Medellin is in general xenophobic. Of course, you maybe have some people are xenophobic, but not a lot. At least in my personal experience with talking to locals about this specific topic. So people just don't like the wild party crowd searching for drugs and prostitutes. And this is kind of just common sense. So I wouldn't like that in my home country either. And for example, where I live, which is outside of, let's say, the touristy areas, we have a little park where young Colombians sometimes come and they party all night long, drink beer, take drugs. I don't like that either, but that doesn't mean that I don't like Colombians in general. But if I would only see that, yeah, maybe my view would also change. So the question shifts from if Medellin is xenophobic to how many gringos are really that bad way. Let me tell you, it's kind of sad. The percentage of bad behaving people, especially around the Parquejeras area, is so high that I was talking to one of the higher up managers in one of the big real estate companies or foreign real estate companies that cater for foreigners. And he has been working here in Medellin since years and years. And he told me also, like, he would prefer to live in Bogota, even though he loves every other aspect here. He loves the climate more than in Bogota, the Colombians more, but just the fact that he is working with a lot of foreigners. And he just spoke to me frankly and said a lot of gringos that come here just are that kind of way. So that's why, even though he likes everything better here in Medellin, would prefer to work in Bogota. So then the question becomes, yeah, are all gringos that way that come to Medellin? And that's surely not the case either. So the best example is our company. What we do here, we had many clients already since the last year when we started with this company. And we really can say, with some exception, when I think about it, maybe from, let's say, 40, 50 clients that we worked personally here, I think 2 were in this kind of sort of thing. But other than that, we had really so interesting people. We had CEOs from big marketing companies. We had consultants for big banks. So very highly educated people, very sensitive people that want to learn Spanish, want to integrate in the culture, doing the right steps. And yeah, this is really, I think our company is kind of the perfect example that not everybody is like that, and there's still a lot of good gringos out there. So a little summary, my personal opinion, talking with many Colombians about especially that topic, really people like foreigners here in general. If you're outside of the, let's say, the weird districts where a lot of the drugs and prostitute stuff happens, which in Medellin, for example, is the Parquejeras, outside of that, people have a very good and neutral opinion about gringos, either even more positive. So they like to speak to you, they want to learn from you, they want to see why you can't come here. They're very proud of what Medellin is and want to ask you why exactly you came here. So this is what you're going to experience if you just are sensitive and are doing the right steps, trying to learn Spanish. This is what you're gonna experience. The issue more is that people just don't like a-holes. So I think this is common sense and this is nothing new. This is, yeah, kind of, I think what the summary is about the whole discussion if Medellin is xenophobic or not. So I wanna give you a last question for yourself. So if you experience that people are xenophobic about your behavior or what you do, maybe not the xenophobia is the issue, maybe you're the issue. I want to leave it at that. Hope this video helped. See you in the next video.